First.
J for JR.
Yeah, sure. JR, when you get this far in camp, in spring practice, I should say, what do the coaches do to kind of keep y'all motivated, knowing that there's no game outside of G-Day that's coming up?
It's just all about focusing on yourselves, and I'm glad that we had this scrimmage. So a lot of guys know where they are and know what they have to improve on. So that's one thing that a lot of people focus on and what we're focusing on now. And it's really about finishing. You can't just get lazy since we're getting closer to G-Day. It's really a lot of good competition everywhere. So a lot of people got to push through and finish.
I guess it's been about a year since you had that strong spring and kind of emerged as a potential starter in this defense. I mean, do you remember where you were at mentally and in your head this time last year when you weren't necessarily hadn't played the year before and where you're at now after 15 starts and all that playing time?
It was a big learning curve for me. Like, I knew a lot of the playbook, but I was still learning the defense. And a lot of the older guys really took me under, like I'm trying to do with these young guys, and taught me the playbook and taught me how to play and practice in this system.
I don't think a lot of people were expecting you to go out with the first team at last year's G-Day. What was that moment like for you?
It was just a moment I've always been waiting for, something I knew I could do, and I knew just go out there, relax, just like practice, and have fun.
J.R. Kirby's talking about trying to find depth in the defensive backfield. How you see that coming along? How you feel it? So the young guys are coming along.
A lot of young guys are coming along, but they're all kind of even right now. We had the first scrimmage, and they all look about the same. So there's still some competition going on. So the second scrimmage should tell us a lot. Who's really putting in the work and who's really studying extra to get that spot.
Yeah, referring to some of the younger guys, Mark Webb started here as a wide receiver. Just how have you seen him come along at cornerback this spring, and just what all does he need to work on? What has he been doing well?
He's done a great job making the transfer so far, but just like all the other younger guys, it's a complex defense that we play, so he has to study the book a lot more. He's a very physical player, but you got to be smart out there too, so he needs to learn his plays.
JR, you mentioned working with the younger guys. That's something Deandre Baker said he wanted to do as well. You guys been kind of working to do like a co-leadership type of thing, or how's that experience like?
It's not just one guy's over everyone. It's really, like you said, a co-leadership between me, Baker, Tyreek, Jarvis Wilson. We just go out there and we just try to preach to these young guys that every day is like game day during the spring. You got to take every day serious. And you got to do extra. You got to do more. More is not enough. So you got to just keep going and keep going until you really get it.
What do you see from Richard this spring?
Richard, he's came a long way. He's learned a lot as a kid. And
I said good things about you. You know that, right?
They haven't asked me about you yet. Richard. So Richard, he's came a long way, and he's just like a lot of the younger guys. Really, this main thing with these young guys is they got to study. They got to put in extra work to study this playbook. It's just like in school. It's just like another class. So he just got to put in more work to get the plays down.
How's the back end different between you and Dom last year versus you and Richard?
Dom's a great player. He's played in this system for 3 years, so it wasn't a lot of I wouldn't say mistakes, but it wasn't. It was a lot of experience back there. So he knew what was going to happen before it happened, and so he was helping me, kind of like I'm helping Richard now. So it's just like he's passing up the torch.
We were talking about getting into playbook and studying. Do you remember the moment for you or the time for you when you kind of came to that realization, man, I need to study more. This is kind of crazy how much you have to study on the playbook?
When I first got here, the first day they put in 17 plays, and I was like, man, what in the world? And so that first day I stepped here, that's when I knew I had to go ahead and strap it on and get into the book.
17 plays in one. Compare that to maybe high school. How many did you learn? 17 different things all year long?
17 plays all 4 years of high school.
What about at Tulsa? How does that compare?
Tulsa's defense is not as complex as this one.
I'll ask about Mecole. How close do you feel he was to returning a punt last year?
Mecole, he's getting close. I don't know what to say about that because we got a lot of guys out there really blocking their tail off for this man. So he's just got to put it all together and score one because he's going to get one this year. He might get a couple. And I just feel it because we take pride in blocking hard and take pride in our special teams.
I'm sure you get a chance every now and then to kind of match up with him in the slot. No, I don't necessarily know man coverage, but kind of dealing with a guy like that, he's pretty fast, pretty explosive. Is it kind of tough going up against a guy, you know, you put a lot of strain on the defense to make sure he doesn't get over the top of you?
Oh yeah, Mecole is like one of my favorites to go against because him and Terry are just so good in their route running and so quick in and out their breaks. So it's really good challenging. It's a really good challenge, so I really like going against him.
You had 7, 8 defensive starters, you know, off that team last year. How have you seen the defense as a whole grow during the spring and like the scrimmage last Saturday? How do you think you did against the offense moving the ball?
We did all right against the offense. We got a lot of room to grow, and I'll see what type of steps we make based off the second scrimmage. And, you know, we'll see what guys really grew and what guys really learned from that last scrimmage.
You mentioned Terry and Mecole. What about Riley? What kind of challenge does he present? And, you know, what ways can you get the better of him on the practice field?
Riley's a very deceptive speed guy. You don't really think he's running that fast, but he can get behind you really fast, and he likes to block. So he's a really great blocker out there on the edge.
Does Jarvis Wilson play behind you most of the time?
Jarvis is playing, he's playing the Richard spot and my spot too. So Jarvis is actually almost like our Aaron Davis out there right now. He's playing the money, he's playing free, strong safety. He can play it all out there. He's doing a great job.
I know you've got 2 years left, maybe. But Jarvis is a guy going into his final year. You know, this is his kind of prove-it chance. Do you see any kind of difference in a guy like that who knows he only has 1 year left here to do something to prove himself?
I don't think he's really put that pressure on himself. I just think he's going out there and having fun and really playing the game, and he knows what's at stake, but I don't think he's putting unneeded pressure about, you know, this is my last year, I got to go do this and that. I think he's just going out there and really competing.
Do you think maybe your motivation in practice has changed at all this spring, considering last spring you were kind of coming off that red shirt year, trying to break into the rotation, and now it's maybe trying to, you know, maintain that role and maybe be kind of a leader of the defense?
Yeah, well, last year I was trying to improve myself, and this year I'm trying to do the same. It's all about improving yourself. Like Coach says, we got to focus on ourselves. But I really took upon myself this year to really impact some of these young guys and bring along our team as a secondary and bring us all along. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So I want everyone to be really strong in that secondary.
What will fans see on G-Day when they look at Justin Fields in a Georgia uniform for the first time?
A guy that has a big arm. You know, not only he can run, but he can throw the ball too. And he's done a great job out there. He's going to be a good surprise for the fans and something they'll love.
Surprise? I don't think they're going to be surprised. I've heard everything about that kid.
You talked about working with the young guys, and I asked Deandre this as well. What kind of things and maybe advice or things that you learned do you still talk to these guys, Aaron Davis and Dominic Sanders? When they parted, you know, did they give you guys any kind of advice to lead the team this year?
Well, really, it was really happened in, say, the Oklahoma practices. They were really talking to me like, yo, you have to step up and make these type of calls. And really going through this whole experience from spring, summer, fall, I just learned from them and just paid attention to little things like that they did, just a little extra stuff. They watched a lot of film, and those guys knew the playbook in and out.
You still talking to them?
Oh, yeah, I just got done texting Aaron. But it's more of like we don't talk about football all the time.
No, it's just, yeah, I guess.
Who else has stepped up on defense in the leadership role?
You know, Deandre Baker has done a good job. Jonathan Ledbetter is doing a good job. They Trez Patrick. You know, we got a lot of guys that have been playing for a while. They've done a great job.
2 more questions.
I asked you this at the beginning of the spring, but maybe you have a better feel for it now. Last spring, you were the surprise, the guy that kind of came out of nowhere to make an impact. Have you seen anyone that could be that guy this year so far on the defense?
I'm still waiting. I think the second scrimmage is going to really tell who's going to pop up out of nowhere. But, you know, Jarvis Wilson, guys that's been here for a minute that are ready to play, Jarvis Wilson, Tate Crowder, Juwan Taylor, those guys I think is going to surprise this team. I mean, not the team, but the fans.
Yeah, because everyone kind of is interested in the new guys, the shiny new objects.
All the stars. What do y'all give them, 5, 6 stars, guys?
I don't personally give out the stars. But yeah, like that's what I was getting at with Jarvis. Like some of these guys have been around here a while and kind of bided their time. Just had some guys ahead of them. It just seems like sometimes these guys are taken for granted.
Yeah, I think the fans forget about we have more than 11 guys that come in and play on this team. You know, so a lot of those freshmen might not play this year. There'll be a lot of older guys that have waited their turn and really grinded it out. And, you know, not saying no freshmen will play because we're definitely going to need them, but there's a lot of guys on this team that have been here for years that are going to play and be great for us.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Jarvis.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, JR.